So how do we awaken our knowing of the One?
Just listen.
Just listen, isn't it? Okay. Really. That's what it is. Just listen. Just look and listen. How do we do that? Can I have some feedback? How do we look and listen?
With an empty mind.
Yeah, that's right. Just like with an empty mind. In other words, there's no you, right? There's just presence. So right now, just sit there and just look and listen. You see? When I look at you, I don't see Burt. I never see Burt when I'm talking ordinarily. The moment I say Burt, then I'm affirming that I'm here, that I have to do that. But I am totally aware of here, the energy. You see? Now do the same. And as you look, all that there is this presence. You're aware of everyone. Who's aware of everyone? Who's being aware?
The awareness itself.
The awareness itself. That's oneness. You don't love someone, there's love. You don't understand something, because there's nothing to understand in the ultimate sense. There's only understanding. You see? When something happens, you don't say, oh, I have to understand this. I don't understand what's happening. No. Stop. Just understand. It's happening. You see? Everything that is, or what is. You know? Two of the most beautiful words I've ever read, which really struck me with a like this, was when I first read the Course in Miracles, and it says that God is. I thought that's the only thing that made sense, because I had gone into not only my own Catholic religion, but I went into different religions thinking that maybe I was missing something here. This was before I met Ramana Maharshi. But later on, after my experience, and had the Course too, and I looked at the words God is, I said, wow, this is the simplest, most direct, you know, just two words that I've ever read. God is. You see? Doesn't that make everything clear? Right there. In fact, you can remove the word is and put God alone. But then we have a concept, you see? Or you can move God and put just is. But then you make is into something totally dead and impersonal. God is a little bit more personal the way we think of it. So God is a perfect teaching, a perfect example. I had Satsang, you know, like please. A perfect example of isness. Isness is the oneness. And when you look and you sit very still, you just look. All that there is this presence. You see? And the body is made up of that presence. Because every cell in your body is made up of that energy. It's made up of that awareness. Awareness is everything. It's total. And that's understanding oneness. And there's only that. Okay, are there any questions before I ask you the next one?
Burt, how can hate be the opposite of love when so often you say that love has no opposite?
Love has no opposite. Absolutely no opposite. Therefore, hate itself is opposite love, but love has no opposite, because love absorbs it. You see? Like hate is opposite love, fear is opposite love, illusion is opposite love, anger is opposite love, not understanding is opposite love, but love itself is total, it's complete. And when you look with loving eyes, when you look with love, this hate, fear, guilt, where is it? Suppose there's guilt or shame in you, right? You're feeling this uncomfortable. And you're able to forgive it, which means, of course, you're loving, you're understanding, right? You accept it. Well, what have acceptance is that love. So when you have love, where's the guilt? You won't find it. Otherwise, when you have the guilt and the fear, then yes, it is opposite love, because at that moment you're not loving. Absolutely, there's no love in you at all. But the moment there is love, there is no fear, there's no guilt, there's no shame. There's none of that. So guilt, are we beginning to see the oneness? That's what was a good question, thank you. So you see the beauty of love. Love annihilates everything and absorbs it into itself. Its heart is so total, so huge, so large, that it absorbs everything. The worst criminal, Hitler, Stalin, even those can be absorbed into love. Because nothing can be outside of that love when you begin to allow it. Now you see, not develop it, because you don't develop love. You don't say, well, I'm going to grow into love. When you allow love, because you are that love. Your body is made of love. My goodness, all you have to do is just observe. My heart is beating, I'm not doing it. My blood is circulating through miles of arteries, I'm not doing it. My cells are changing, I'm not doing it. Everything is so coordinated, you see. But there's another thing about which I'd like to discuss, about the selection, natural selection. Natural selection, which means, of course, the two opposites of attraction and repulsion, which make up the oneness, is to understand that there are no two. Now, last Thursday we had a lovely woman here who was asking questions about, I've been doing this for 10 years, she said, but I haven't realized it. I haven't felt it. I don't live from it. You know, and she was kind of caught in this, you know. And one thing that, of course, we do not understand is that you cannot know truth. You cannot understand truth. You know, you cannot say, well, I want to know truth. I want to understand it. I want to realize it so that I can start living from it. The I cannot understand it, because the I that you think you are is separating itself from the truth of you, from the love of you. You see? So you might say, well, then how, but if the I cannot understand it, and how am I going to live from it? You see? And that is the whole point. So start looking at who you are. The space that you are, the awareness that you are. And then you'll find that even though it comes from here, and like we've said so many times before, from this vantage point, yet it has no beginning, and there's no end point to awareness. Just is. And then you begin to see that everything is that. Everything is that. Nothing is apart from that. And the moment you understand, you begin to even feel it. You realize you are the very truth itself being revealed right now as you look at it. It is being revealed the moment your mind does not conclude, does not come up with any thoughts about it. Because the mind, you see, goes back to its conditioned state and says, oh, but, comes up with all kinds of questions. The point is, can you quiet yourself enough to look, to listen? You see? And when you do, you begin to see that everything that I've ever wanted, the whole truth of being, is this presence. You see? And this presence is who I am. And it is total. It is love. And I am not apart from it any more than the body and its shadow can be apart from each other. You just can't separate from it. The two are one. This is the beginning of understanding oneness. It is very, very simple. It is direct. You're listening to the words cannot do it. But hopefully the energy by which the words are being given can be transmitted to your own heart.